The dreaded time has come, gentlemen. 9 months ago, before the 2022-2023 NFL season started, I made a tier list detailing how each team was going to do in the upcoming year. We're going to take a look back at that tier list right now. So on your screen, you now see my finalized tier list. Oh God, what's the most glaringly obvious horrible thing out here? I think number one, the worst thing, I have the Rams in S tier, and the Rams were literally one of the worst teams in the league this year. So let's just put that out the gates. My only other S tier team is the Bills. Bills were good, but I don't know if I could say the Bills were S tier. I think with the way the season actually panned out, I think the Bengals should be an S tier, the Chiefs should be an S tier, and the Eagles should be an S tier. But I don't know if I'd be comfortable putting any other team up there in S tier. Let's see, some other notable absolute bag fumbles. Falcons in D tier, I'm cool with that. The Panthers in D tier, I'm cool with that. Jets in D tier is a little aggressive. Maybe C tier is more accurate, but it's still not bad. Texans in D tier is beautiful, but Seahawks. The Seahawks were a playoff team. Geno came out swinging and made my D tier Seattle Seahawks call just be so horrendous. So that's a big whiff right there. I want to see, what was my reasoning?
Develops well. I hope that Justin Fields develops well. We'll have to see, but I'm keeping him C tier for now.
That's pretty good. The Bears were still C tier.
Seattle Seahawks into D tier. I feel really bad for Seattle. You lost Russell. They struggled with Russell Wilson. They struggled with Geno Smith. You're going to struggle with Drew Lock. I'm sorry, Seahawks. I'm putting you in D tier. Houston Texans D tier as well.
See, I was under the impression that Drew Lock was going to be the starter because he was part of that trade. But Geno ended up coming out playing amazing. So I'll take my whiff there. I'm sorry, Seahawks fans. You guys shined. Now, honestly, I was actually wrong on my own team. I mean, the Lions played a lot better than expectations. I wouldn't say the Lions were quite A tier, but they're definitely A or B tier. They're certainly not C or D. We had a winning record, 9-8. Yeah, that's A or B tier. What did I say about the Lions?
I'll see. Let's move into some C tier teams. I think Cleveland Browns. We're going to see the Deshaun Watson effect. If he comes back and he's just a god, yeah, let's move him up to A tier. But with Jacoby Brissett in there, that is a C tier team, no question. Detroit Lions, we are still a C tier team. I love Hard Knocks. I love Dan Campbell. I love the future of this team. That does not mean we are good right now. I'd love to see us win some games this season. I don't have us going over. I have us at a 7-game win max. So very, very easy schedule, though. So
I set a 7-game win max. Oh, we ended it with 9. Wow, I'm a fraud. Dude, a fraud for my own team, too. Like, a fraud for my own team. That's what's crazy. All right, I'm going to go back to here anyway, though. I want to see where else, like, I fully, completely whiffed. So, I gotta give myself credit, though. I will give myself credit in one spot, which is putting Philadelphia Eagles in A tier. People were saying the Eagles are going to be the worst team in the NFC East. And the Eagles go all the way to the Super Bowl. So, I'm really happy that I had Philly at least in A tier, but in reality, they should have been S tier. Although if I put Philly in S tier, you guys would have dicked on me, so it is what it is. Dolphins A tier. You almost could put them in B tier. They had a solid season, but a lot going on. Raiders in A tier is fucking hilarious. Raiders were so shit. Raiders were so unbelievably shit. A tier Raiders is diabolical. Just not the call there. Tampa Bay Buccaneers A tier is still okay. I mean, Brady's out for good now, but they were pretty solid. They were a playoff team. Colts, not even close to A tier. Not even close to A tier. They played like shit. Green Bay A tier. You can put them B tier. They didn't make the playoffs, so I'd almost had to say B tier there. I like Chargers in the A tier still, and then Denver Broncos, obviously not an A tier team either. So you have to move. You have to move Broncos down, Raiders down, Colts down, maybe the Dolphins down, maybe the Packers down. Now we look at B tier teams. I think Dallas realistically could have been A tier. They're a playoff team. Ravens, I feel like the Ravens are where they should be. San Fran definitely should be A tier at the minimum. Tennessee Titans are probably right where they belong. I think they had a perfectly mid record. Vikings, you could put in A tier. That's a playoff team too. Cardinals could be moved down to C or D. Commanders could be moved down to C or D. Pittsburgh's probably where it should be. Saints are where they should be. Patriots are where they should be. Browns are where they should be. Bears are where they should be. Jaguars, you got to move up. That's a playoff team, baby. Jaguars played great, and they are on the come up. I think Jaguars A tier is more accurate. And I've got the Giants in C tier. Let me see what... Dude, the Giants were probably the most shocking team this year. I want to see what I said about the Giants.
Right. Saints B tier. I actually agree with you. Okay. Saints are winning no more than 9 games. The Saints are winning no more than 9 games, but they're B tier. They are definitely better than the Lions, the Browns, the Bears, the Jaguars.
How many games did the Saints win? The Saints went 7-10, so they won 7 games. B tier is probably okay for the Saints.
Oh, I'm with you. I think Giants actually catch their stride. I'm making Giants C tier. I think the Giants will catch their stride this year. They're not going to be in the bottom of the barrel.
So I said the Giants are going to catch their stride, and then I just put them in C tier? That's all I am MM casual. Holy shit. What kind of explanation is that, Matt? They're going to catch their stride, and you put them in fucking C tier, and you don't say anything else?
Going to be D tier. If Marcus Mariota plays good football, I will be shocked. Marcus Mariota has not had a starting job in the league
I was going to say, I have
in
not
forever.
seen him play
That's your
so
quarterback.
long.
Listen, maybe I don't know something. Maybe Mariota could be an absolute beast, but I would be very shocked. Patriots, I'm putting B tier. I really don't think Mac Jones is that guy. I'm a Mac Jones hater, even though he's on my CFM and I love him. Yeah. I just don't think he's that guy that can propel the team to an A tier. I think they're kind of in a waiting phase. Maybe they're not. Maybe the Patriots believe that Mac Jones is their franchise. But I think the Lions are in a waiting phase. We're waiting to get rid of Jared Goff.
That's so funny. This whole year, I thought that we were waiting to get rid of Jared Goff, but I don't think it's the case anymore. I think we really like Jared Goff now because he played so well this year. So I got to take my L on that one for sure. What did I say about the Colts?
I'm going to throw the Colts in A tier.
Ooh,
I think the Colts have had so many good pieces. I believe Carson Wentz held them back. I think Matt Ryan is a winning, excellent quarterback who's been on a horrible team. The Colts are not similar to the Rams when they got Stafford, but they're kind of similar. It's not a perfect comparison. I don't think the Colts are going to the bowl, but I think the Rams had all the pieces and Jared Goff was holding them back. They added Matthew Stafford and click. You got an amazing team.
Cringe. The Colts were shit. The Colts were shit, even with Matt Ryan. I cringe looking at that. Let me see. Okay, so then I put Raiders. I put the Raiders in A tier. I have to know what I said about that.
Defense. I think it'll take some of the pressure off of Aaron Rodgers because he's going to need some pressure off his shoulders. I'm going Packers. Raiders, I'm also going A tier. I think the Raiders have been an amazing team, and they added Devontae Adams. You didn't lose Josh Jacobs. You didn't lose Darren Waller. You still got Derek Carr. In fact, if the Raiders hadn't had so much struggles keeping people out of prison and having horrible draft picks and decisions that Gruden made, I think they would have won a Super Bowl by now in the last 5 years. They have got a lot of talent over there. So I'm keeping the Raiders A tier. Bengals, I have to go A.
Fuck, watching the Raiders now, what did they win? 3 fucking games? What did they win? 3 games? The Raiders went 6-11, and they won so many games by like a point or just horrible coaching. So they very well could have been. Like, they were like probably 5 total points away from being an A-tier team, but just watching the catastrophe that this season was to barely finish above the shit Broncos, I mean, yikes. Now that I've seen that, I got to see what I said about the Broncos too.
Go A tier. There's no reason I can't say they're A tier. They're only developing. Personally, I think their playoff run was a little bit lucky last year. I hate to be a hater, but I feel like they weren't good enough to be in the Super Bowl. I felt like the Bills should have beat the Chiefs and the Bills would have whomped the Bengals. But clearly that's not what happened. The Bengals progressed to the Chiefs, beat the Chiefs. So they deserve to be up there, but I don't think they're S tier. So I'm putting them A tier. I go Chargers A. I go Broncos A. And that is it. Denver Broncos. The Chargers are A tier for obvious reasons. They have so much talent up both sides of the ball. Herbert is their franchise QB, and he's only getting better. Broncos is more speculative, but Russell Wilson only has to play mediocre or better than mediocre to how well he's played his whole career, and they're going to be A tier.
It's actually a pretty good take considering Russell Wilson played fucking horrible. He did not even play mediocre those first few games, but I don't want to put it on Russell Wilson. When Nathaniel Hackett got out of Denver, he started to play really well, and they were winning games there down that last stretch. I know that those, some people say those games don't matter as much, but I don't know. I stand behind this take. I stand behind my take here of putting Broncos in A tier.
Broncos is more speculative, but Russell Wilson only has to play mediocre or better than mediocre to how well he's played his whole career, and they're going to be A tier. They have had literal bums in there at quarterback, and they were still winning games. They've got so much talent on that team. I really like their defense. I really like their offensive line. I really like their running back duo. You've got Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. I like their tight end duo. They still got Noah Fant and Albert O. And he got rid of Drew Lock. You really can only go up from Drew Lock. So Broncos A tier makes sense to me.
It's not true. You cannot only go up from Drew Lock. Never say never, ladies and gentlemen. Yikes. Okay, is there any other take that I really, really want to see? I want to see my San Fran take, because San Fran played so good this year.
Dallas Cowboys, Baltimore Ravens, San Fran 49ers, Tennessee Titans, and we're going to stop right there and talk about these. Dallas Cowboys. You lose Amari Cooper. He's been a staple of that Dallas offense for a long time. You're unsure about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has flashes of being insanely good and flashes of being not so great. Ezekiel Elliott is certainly regressing. I think Tony Pollard will come in and play well from him. Tyron Smith, one of the best left tackles to play in the last decade, is out for the entire season. And that defense is just questionable. Micah Parsons is amazing. They were the best fantasy defense last year, but that didn't translate to too much. So I'm going to keep the Cowboys at B tier. They're going to have to prove to me otherwise. Baltimore Ravens. I love this team. There just isn't that much talent. I mean, Rashad Bateman's your wide receiver 1. J.K. Dobbins is coming back. Hopefully he's healthy.
Facts.
I think the Ravens run an offense that is very difficult to prove success in the NFL. It proved success during Lamar Jackson's MVP season, but he hasn't been able to replicate it. I hope they do well because I love Lamar Jackson, but I can't see this team. I can't see this team beating a lot of the A-tier teams. In a best of 3, look, any team can beat any team in one game, but in a best of 3, I take the Chiefs over the Ravens, the Colts over the Ravens, the Bucks over the Ravens, the Packers, the Raiders, the Bengals, the Chargers.
In the best of 3, I took the fucking Raiders over the fucking Ravens. Are you kidding me? I don't even know why, but what a weird analogy for me to use. A best of 3 analogy. It's football. There's no such thing as a best of 3 in football. This isn't basketball. You don't play best of 7 final series, Matt. You just play one fucking game in the offs.
Chargers and the Broncos over the Ravens. So I'm confident in my decisions there. San Fran in the next 3 years could be a fucking menace, but I find it very unlikely that Trey Lance is going to come straight into this offense and be incredible. This is going to be a developing year for him.
Hey, I didn't mention Brock Purdy, though. I didn't see that one
I think he's going to play really well and better than people expect, but that's not enough to go A tier. Tennessee Titans. Wow, shelled out your whole team. No Julio Jones, no A.J. Brown. You got Treylon Burks, a rookie who looks like he's going to be wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 1. You did get Robert Woods, who I like, but it's just not the same team you had. Derrick Henry's not going to get 450 touches. He's too old. It is so hard to stay healthy and get that many touches. Derrick Henry can only carry you so far.
I was wrong there. Derrick Henry stayed healthy the whole season and still carried that team. I mean, they didn't make it to the playoffs. They were super hot at the start of the year and they fell off a cliff, but I was wrong about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry defies father time and continues to be a workhorse for them.
I think the Tennessee Titans as a team are on the decline, although I do love their defense. You can't be that dependent on Derrick Henry to run your fucking team. It just doesn't work that way. The next team that I'll put B tier is the Vikings. I think the Vikings are a pretty high B tier team. Justin Jefferson developing really well. Kirk Cousins slept on. He doesn't give enough credit for being a very good quarterback. But I don't know what it is about the Vikings. Honestly, I think the Lions are going to beat the Vikings. We might even sweep the Vikings this year. That might be a little bit delusional.
All right.
But I like our squad. I'm happy with our squad, and I feel like that Vikings defense is getting a little bit older. I still love Dalvin Cook, and I still love Justin Jefferson. So I think their offense is great, but their defense holds them back. Let's go with Cardinals B tier. I think Cardinals are one of the easiest teams to go A or S tier this season, but wow, watching them just deflate like a balloon at the end of last season was
I said the Cardinals could easily be A or S.
Cardinals B tier. I think Cardinals are one of the easiest teams to go A or S tier this season, but wow, watching them just deflate like a balloon at the end of last season was sad, and it doesn't give me good hopes going into this season. It really is dependent on Kyler Murray. That's it. If Kyler Murray plays the level of football that he has shown he can play, they can easily be an A and S tier team, but sometimes he just doesn't. He looked so bad in that playoff game.
This was an casual take. The thing that held the Cardinals back, at least now is what it looks like, was the ownership and the coaching. At least that's how it seems. I no longer believe that Kyler Murray is the problem in Arizona. I think Kyler Murray is still really good. So I just had to interject on casual here. God, I see why you guys comment casual so much. God, what a fucking, look at this fucking bozo in the bottom right. Look at that idiot, bro. What are you talking about? Fucking Raiders in A tier, Colts in A tier, bro. What are you talking about?
So bad. It was like, what was the score of that Rams-Cardinals playoff game, dude? It was horrible. Other B-tier teams? Ooh. All right, I'm taking my Hail Mary. My bad. There is still one more A-tier team, and it's the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are my sleeper A-tier team. This is probably my most controversial opinion. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a top 5 fantasy quarterback year. I think they're going to piece everything together in Philadelphia. They got A.J. Brown. They got Jalen Reagor. They got Devonta Smith. They got Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert. They got Jordan Mailata. They developed the O-line. I need the Eagles defense to figure it out. If the Eagles defense comes back looking stronger than they did last year, I think the Eagles are a nasty team. Keep in mind, the Eagles went to the playoffs. They got smacked by the Buccaneers, yeah, but the Eagles went to the playoffs last season. It might have been a wild card, but they went to the playoffs. I think they've only gotten significantly better. added Jordan Davis. That is an A-tier team to me. We shall see.
I've had enough of MM Casual. I'm going to end on the MM Genius moment where I put my sleeper Eagles up in 8th tier. No one can take it from me, baby. That's your Super Bowl right there. Chiefs Eagles. No one can take it from me. Listen, if I'm going to make a tier list and confidently put it out there, I have to go back and look at my trash takes and my good takes. So let me know what you guys think. And of course, as we get closer to the NFL season, I'll be dropping my tier list for 2023, 2024. So I'm excited to see how that one pans out. We shall see. Hey, that's it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.